Good afternoon, everyone. I am Nara Sahagon, and I will discuss the developing materials for listening skills, specifically the teaching strategies and the 5 types of authentic materials. So this report is the continuation of Ati Mansing's report. So on her report, she mentioned that listening is an ability to accurately receive and interpret messages in the communication topic. So for my report, I will teach you some strategies and the authentic listening materials that you can use in your future teaching. So we have now the teaching strategies. The first on the list is focus on teaching skill of listening. So you can break the skill into identifiable components for the students and then practice. For example, role play, job interview, and oral recitation. So use the positive reinforcement with this and rewards the students for using the skills. Next, we have the model good listening for your students. So often we are thinking about a response to us a student and then we'll rely only listening to them. Use the counseling skill of rephrasing or reciting what students say to enhance your own listening. So for example, ask students to restate yours or others' point of view. The third is we have get to know to your students. So find out about their interests, hobbies to have a reference in making materials. So your students will listen when they feel that you are interested to them. Next is use reflective listening. So in reflective listening, it involves 2 key steps. First is seek to understand a speaker's idea, and second is offers the idea back to the speaker. So to confirm that the idea has been understood correctly, with these strategies, it will make your students more verbally creative. Number 5 is give students a voice. So in these strategies, you will develop materials that will let the students to express their opinions, values, and beliefs to help them build their confidence and prepare them for their roles in society. Next, we have gets everyone's voice in the room. So give students an opportunity to speak at the beginning of the class. Number 7 is talk less. So reducing your time to talk as a teacher, like asking question, is instead of providing explanation, observing students. So with these strategies, your students will engage in their own learning. Next is use cold calling. So cold calling serves as an engaging and challenging yet supportive way to hold students accountable for answering any questions. So with these strategies, the students requires to think and interact with the questions at hand, even if they are not sure of the answers. Next is listen and learn from students about their behavior. So when we listen to the students, we are also learning to their behavior and more likely to get to know them even more. So with these strategies, it will help you as a teacher to make materials that are suitable to the interests of your students. And the last strategy is listen to parents. So one of the teacher's roles is to get to know about what is best for the students. So by talking to the learner's parents, we are more likely to learn on the basic strategies about how best to teach their children. So remember that family involvement in school enhances all students' learning. Now we have the another subtopic, the 5 types of authentic learning materials. So the first on the list is public announcement. One way to bring authentic listening activities into your classroom is to record a listening text in a public place. So this type of listening text will have audible distractions and interference while still presenting information to your students. So to apply this in your classroom, try recording an announcement on a bus, subway, or plane, and then prepare your students before listening by telling them the context and ask them what they expect to hear. Play the recording for your students and ask them to answer questions about what they hear. Next, we have the weather forecast. This will challenge them to understand content without visual clues. To apply this type of authentic materials apply to all types of students, and then the information they hear by planning the activities for the day or choosing what clothing to wear. Next, we have sounds. This challenges students to guess at missing information in what they hear. So these authentic materials is challenging yet exciting for the students. So with these materials, you can present an incomplete set of lyrics to a popular song and asking them to fill in the blanks of missing lyrics. This challenges students to give a missing information in what they hear. Now we have the radio commercial. So radio commercial can be used for a variety of activities. They are especially useful if they are by local and non-professional radio personalities. This text will give students exposure to realistic pronunciation, intonation, and speed. When you want to apply this in your classroom, you can play a selection of commercial for them and ask them to write down particular information. So with this activity, they do not only develop their listening skills but also their rote learning. So the last type of authentic materials is conversation. This will expose students to varieties in style and also challenge them to guess at missing information in the conversation. So take your students into a situation where many groups of people are talking at the same time, a party or cafeteria, for example. So ask your students to eavesdrop on your conversation and to ask them to comment if they would like to join in each of the conversation, if they are pros or cons to each statement of the speaker in the conversation. So that would be all for my report. If you have any questions, kindly message me. Thank you for listening. God bless.